A day after the Afghan government proposed power-sharing deals with the Taliban, the extremist group has responded with the seize of Kandahar, the second largest city and a trade hub of Afghanistan. The rise of Taliban surely does not augur well for the regional peace and stability in South Asia, as serious concerns have been raised in the subcontinent regarding the spiral effect of Taliban's rise to power. Good morning, I'm Sarah Sapsanama, and these are the top stories of the hour. The central bank unveils monetary policy aiming to revamp an ailing economy amid the pandemic. Special privileges offered to tourism and service sectors. The country continues to reel under coronavirus as 27 COVID patients succumb to the virus, taking the country's death tally to 10,239. Diplomats hasten exit as Taliban near Kabul, the first US troops to arrive in Afghanistan to help diplomatic staff leave. And debutants Brentford shock defeats Arsenal at the inaugural match of the English Premier League. Bayern and Mönchengladbach settle for a draw in Bundesliga. Nepal Rashtra Bank, the central regulatory and monetary authority, has unveiled the monetary policy targeting additional relief for sectors reeling under the pandemic. The central bank governor Mahaprasad Adhikari released the monetary policy amid a special function yesterday. The monetary policy has prioritized to revamp the ailing economy and stamp financial stability. The monetary policy has given special privileges to tourism, education and transport sectors, all badly dented amid the corona pandemic. Special privileges have also been announced for hotel, travel and tours and aviation sectors. Likewise, most affected sectors like cinema, party palaces, public bus service, among others, are also liable to receive special privileges. The policy also aims to expand economic activities, creating job opportunities and merger of financial institutions, among others. The previous Oli-led government had earlier scheduled to release the monetary policy on 17th of July. However, the change of government had postponed the release date. The country continues to reel under coronavirus as 27 COVID patients succumbed to the virus yesterday, taking the country's death tally to 10,239. 2,763 new cases of COVID-19 were reported out of the 11,708 samples tested through the PCR method. The total number of positive cases has now reached 725,532. Meanwhile, 2,118 individuals registered full recovery, taking the recovery tally to 679,495, and the recovery rate has dropped to 93.3%. There are currently 38,795 active cases in the country, with 35,518 in home isolation, 736 in intensive care units, while 186 are receiving treatment in ventilator support. Former British Gurkha soldiers have been staging a hunger strike in front of the British Prime Minister's office in London for a week, calling for equal pensions, pay and other perks and benefits. They have been highlighting the disparity in pensions and other facilities between Nepali soldiers and their British counterparts. The health condition of participating protester Thanagurung Pushpa Rana Ghale and Gyan Raj Rai is said to be deteriorating. The British government, however, is yet to address their demands. The government under Congress chief Sher Bahadur Deuba has completed its first month. The first month has proved lackluster so far, with the cabinet failing to receive its full form, while the parliament remains without any business.
With the Deuba government completing its one full month, some 17 ministries still remain without leadership. Prime Minister Sher Bahadur Deuba had taken the oath of office in secrecy on 13th of July, paving way to a 5-member cabinet the same day. Despite claims of expanding the cabinet within a week, the government could only appoint Umesh Shrestha as the State Minister for Health. The present cabinet has 4 members from Nepali Congress, including the Prime Minister, and 2 ministerial berths from Maoist Centre. It was earlier said that the Common Minimum Program would only be unveiled after incorporating Janata Samajwadi into the government. However, in the absence of power-sharing consensus, the government unveiled the Common Minimum Program this Monday without expanding the cabinet. The government has been citing the ownership debate of Janata Samajwadi and the indecision of Madhav Kumar Nepal faction as the primary reasons behind the delay in expanding the cabinet. Majority of the stakeholders in the government have been mired in intra-party disputes, which has also impacted the government modus operandi. Nepali Congress is fighting general convention disputes. Maoist Centre and Janata Samajwadi find ministerial nomination a hard nut to crack, while Nepal faction is battling to save its lawmaker status. Even as the government has issued the Common Minimum Program, the Deuba government in its first has nothing substantial to show.
The ill practice of child marriage is still rampant in rural parts of the country. In this context, in our Public Voice segment, we've asked the local residents in Palpa what should be done to abolish child marriage. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
सानो उमेरमा विवाह गर्दा उनीहरू अब एक त स्वास्थ्यले परिपक्व पनि भइसकेका हुँदैनन् अनि उनीहरूलाई विभिन्न समस्याहरू आउन सक्छ प्रजनन क्रियाहरू सबै राम्रोसँग परिपक्व भइसकेको हुँदैन
शिक्षा नै दिने अनि प्रशासनिक रूपबाट अब गार्जियनहरूलाई पनि सम्झाउने बुझाउने गर्दाखेरि अब कम गर्न सक्ने मैले देखेको त्यही हो
चेतनै जगाउनु पर्ने हुन्छ पहिलो कुरो चेतना बिना त चाहिने यो अन्त्य हुन्न सबभन्दा प्रमुख त्यही नै हो
Time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion. The question is, what's your take on employees' unions at government offices staging strikes by hampering works? Your options are A, usual give and take, B, union politics, and C, impacts of party politics. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Time now for our special segment, Media Watch.
A joint government was formed in Lumini province on Thursday with a power-sharing agreement between Nepali Congress and CPN Maoist Centre. According to the agreement, Nepali Congress and CPN Maoist Centre will opt for a change in leadership in 8 months' time. Lumini Province Chief Amik Sherchan administered the oath of office and secrecy to newly elected Chief Minister Kulbahadur Kesi along with 6 ministers on Thursday evening. The new cabinet was formed after Chief Minister Sankar Pokhrel had tendered his resignation after falling into minority. The alliance of Nepali Congress, CPN Maoist Centre, Janata Samajwadi Party and Rashtriya Janamorcha had earlier agreed in fielding Parliamentary Party leader of CPN Maoist Centre, Kul Prasad Kesi, for the post of Chief Minister, submitting their majority claim to the province chief. Finance Minister Janardhan Sharma released the government's white paper on Wednesday, saying the country's reserve fund is at a deficit of 143 billion rupees. Minister Sharma also stated that the government reserve was at a deficit of 43 billion rupees 4 years ago, which climbed to 216 billion rupees in the Nepalese fiscal year 2076-77. Finance Minister Sharma also said that 23% of the annual expenses were incurred towards the end of every fiscal year, resulting in the mismanagement of development plans. Likewise, Minister Sharma informed that the public debt had risen to 617 billion rupees in the past 4 years. Minister Sharma also pointed out at the lack of transparency in the use of foreign grants and alleged that the previous KP Sharma Oli-led government had crossed the budget ceiling to commit 300 billion rupees for roads and 57 billion rupees for railways. The white paper suggests that 18 public corporations were bearing losses due to mismanagement. Newly appointed Managing Director of Nepal Electricity Authority, Kulman Kising, assumed office on Wednesday for his second term. Kising, who was reappointed to the post of Managing Director after nearly 11 months, said that his second tenure would be more challenging for him. He added that he had been assigned with additional responsibilities to fulfill public expectations and to carry stranded projects forward. Kising said the Butol-Gorakhpur transmission line and other big projects are in his priority. This is Abhyuday Shrestha for Media Watch and Kantipur News Desk.
That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.